This is another episode of Positive Vibes, where I give you something that either came to my mind, or typically I find memes that are kind of positive or spark something that's positive, and then run with that. So today, I'm going to read this meme. I actually posted this, but the response I got let me know that somebody else needs to hear this and maybe not just read it. So it says, "No, but seriously, normalize finding love in your 40s. Normalize discovering and chasing new dreams in your 30s. Normalize finding yourself and your purpose in your 50s. Life doesn't end at 25. Let's stop acting like it does." And that hit me. I don't know about what y'all age is or whatever. So if you 25 or 22 or 23 and you think it's the end of days, and because you haven't done X, Y, and Z by now, that it's not going to happen, none of that is true. This hit home for me because I did a lot of stuff in my 20s, as far as, living in Miami, working South Beach, partying, all this stuff, modeling, trying to act, everything. You know what I'm saying? However, when it comes to finding my purpose and my passion in life, and starting to create a brand and all that, that didn't happen till the light bulb for me didn't go off until I was about 32. And so I had to get put in a place where I realized that, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is how you're supposed to be helping people. This is how you live with passion and purpose. And there is a battle sometimes of like, well, I'm this age and I don't have, by societal norms, right? I don't have X, Y, and Z. So you start to, if you let that consume you, then you start to feel like you are behind. And then you start trying to play catch up to people who probably not even thinking about you, and you don't even know how they really living. I have friends that have, been together since they were in high school, who, have a house and kids, and it's a beautiful thing. But even this says normalize finding your love in your 40s, because everybody don't find that in high school. Maybe some form of it. And shout out to the ones who are making it still, the ones who it's a genuine love and they knew from the start and they still rocking together. But that don't mean that in your 40s or your 30s or whatever, that you can't do that. And if you're super young, then don't try to force it. Or, I had this conversation with one of my friend's daughters and her friends, because they're around 15 years old, 16. So, they're in that dating boys and drama and whatever. I'm like, listen, stop trying to rush growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I need to hurry up. Like, yo, be a kid and enjoy being a kid. Enjoy having fun with your friends and building real relationships and whatever, because, people going to be there regardless. And the right person will show up at the right time. My mom, my parents divorced when I was 13, and my mom remarried her high school sweetheart, like almost by the time in her late 50s. You know what I'm saying? And it's the happiest I ever seen her in my life. And so you can't put a time and an age on these things. You could create your blueprint, a plan, a vision board, all of that I'm a fan of. It's not going to always go at your timing and it might be there. It might be on your vision board for 6 months from now, and it might happen in 3 months. It might happen in 12 months. It doesn't matter. And so, it says normalizing, discovering, and chasing new dreams in your 30s. Again, I'm proof of that. Like, before, being active was always part of my life, but I didn't think it would be something that I could create a community and inspire people and whatever. I was just doing it for myself because I liked the way it felt, and I liked to see my body changing. And then later in life, as I matured, I realized how mentally challenging it was, and how mentally, like how the mental side of it actually outweighs the physical side. And tapping into that is where real change starts to happen. So and then the third one on here that says normalize finding yourself and your purpose in your 50s. Some people don't realize it until they're in their 50s, what they want to do with their life. Or they're in a space where maybe they have been working crazy since they were 18 and they have the financial freedom to do the thing that they want without losing out on the other side. A lot of people don't want to chase their dream or build a dream or whatever because they feel like, well, it's not paying me instantaneously. And, oh, I can't make a living doing this. And if that's your mentality, you will never make a living doing it. You have to change your mentality. That doesn't mean that it happens overnight. That doesn't mean that by tomorrow, if you had this idea, it's going to take off. Like, I am still building, you know what I mean? And I've had my wake-up calls where I'm like, oh, I'm going to create this program. It's going to be 8 weeks. I'm going to make a calendar. This is going to be dope. And it's not like it was flying off the shelves. It took a pandemic for people to really start buying my program. So at the end of the day, the numbers don't matter, but it is true. Your life doesn't end at 25. So don't try to rush it, because at 25, I'm going to be honest, like, there's always this thing of like, if you could go back to your younger self and what would you say and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, that would be cool, but I actually don't want to be back there because I was a different person. I had a different mentality. And that's the beauty of growing up and maturing, is then you can pass that to other kids or other young adults and say, I'm not telling you what to do, but let me give you some advice based off the things that I've been through. And hopefully if they're receptive, then it will help. But we definitely got to stop putting numbers on everything. And I'm guilty too. It's like, yo, I'm 42. I don't have a house. I don't have a car. I've just sacrificed some stuff to build a brand. Now, that doesn't mean them things aren't coming, and that doesn't mean it can't happen, but it does bother me that people will try to judge you off of material possessions that you have or don't have. And it's like, what does that have to do with me? Especially when you don't even know people's story. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know their ups and downs. And when you decide you want to be an entrepreneur, or you want to build a business, you're going to face moments where you're going to have to sacrifice stuff for a bigger cause, for a bigger purpose. And, you know, there's certain things that I want. I'm not even 100% sure right now in my life a house is something that I want. Now, I know people talk about it's the best investment because, you know, you're just throwing money down the drain or whatever. But if I don't even know if I want to live here currently, then why would I lock myself into like, and I know you can rent it out and all these things, so I get it. But I have friends who have properties since they was in their early 20s. Everybody's different. Everybody's journey is going to be different. So I'm saying all that to say is like, you don't have to compare your chapter 8 to someone's chapter 55. And just because you don't have stuff at a certain age doesn't mean that you're less than or whatever. And I'm telling you, I'm being honest. I have battled this for the past probably like 4 years or so, because I did have to give up a car. It was either roof or car. It's just where I was at in life at the time. It's one or the other. You can't have both. Financially, I couldn't afford both. It's in a dark space. Well, the car gotta go. The beauty is there's always other cars and whatever. And I know what I want now. So it's like, man, I'd rather not have it. Build this, and when the business gets to a point where I can afford that, it's gonna feel a million times better, I think. You know what I mean? And I've been able to go to Greece and travel and do these things where, like, man, if I had a car note, I don't know. Like a high car note, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not outlandish in how I move when it comes to that, but, you know, in this version of Positive Vibes, I just want y'all to know that your time is going to be your time. My time is going to be my time. And so we have to stop putting this pressure on ourselves and then letting other people, and especially society, pressure us into doing stuff. Oh, you should be married by this age. Says who? I'm not married either. I don't have kids either. So again, it's different for everybody. My friends' kids have graduated high school and college. I got people that are having kids right now that I know. So it's just different. But my advice would be, do not put that pressure on yourself to the point where you cannot function or you fall into a depression or whatever because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. And the Joneses don't even care about you and what you're doing and why. And especially if you're trying to build something, like I'm on some legacy building mentality. And the reality is people won't see that until it's absolutely in their face. They'll see glimpses. People tag me, oh, I seen you in this Training Mass commercial, or oh, I see you got this program, or oh, I see you doing your thing, right? But the vision was shown to me. So the vision hasn't changed, the mission hasn't changed. Maybe the location of the gym changes, maybe the faces change, stuff like that, right? But I control the controllables. Everything else is outside of my control. And so where people will give up at 25 because they think they're old, or 28 and they start saying they're old. And I'm like, listen, man, don't do that, because you are going to start feeling old because you keep saying that you're old. Yes, I know that I am the age that I am. And people always ask, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you because I've never been this age before. Oh, what's it feel like? Don't you feel old? No, I don't. Is it because I'm active? Probably. It's because I take care of myself? Probably. But there is a reality like, man, you're not 21 no more. That's just a fact. But that doesn't mean that I can't do things and can't operate in a certain way. And then when you do earn said possessions, whether it's a house or a car or whatever, I just feel like it'll feel better knowing that you worked for it and that this time it can't be taken away from you. So I'll read this one more time. No, but seriously, normalize finding love in your 40s. Normalize discovering and chasing new dreams in your 30s. Normalize finding yourself and your purpose in your 50s. A lot of people don't know what their purpose is, and that's fine. Don't beat yourself up. Don't try to force a purpose that's not there. I told you, I didn't realize the beginning of my purpose until I was 32. I didn't know what it was going to be till about 38, 37. So still, there was 5 years of me doing this and still kind of like, man, I don't know, wasn't 100% sure. And then it hit like, oh, this is what we're doing. This is the vision. This is the goal. This is how it's going to work. You know what I mean? So if you're older, that don't mean it's over for you. Start now. Start today. And if you don't know, you're like, well, I don't know what my purpose is. Cool. Go sit somewhere quietly and listen. Listen to your inner voice, the one that you have muted out, the one that you try to ignore. And don't try to force it. Just every now and then, just take some time to meditate or just listen. Because 9 times out of 10, you know what you really want to do with your life. The reason why you're not doing it is because someone told you can't and you believed it. Also, because there's not an instantaneous, if I make this today, then tomorrow I'll get all the money. So you're going to have to sacrifice some sleep. You're going to have to sacrifice some time. You're going to have to sacrifice hanging out with friends. The sacrifice is going to be a major part. And you got to stay the course. A lot of people, a hurdle pop up, and they, instead of, people run track, is 1, 2, 3, kick, 1, 2, 3, kick, whatever that rhythm is, right? In the hurdles. Some people 1, 2, 3, kick the first one, and then at the second one, they just, man, I'm just walk off into the field and abort the whole mission. You are going to get challenged no matter what you do when it comes to living with purpose. And that doesn't have to be with a business or anything. You want to be a nicer person, better person. You want to be a better friend, a better husband, a better wife, a better brother, sister. The universe is going to test you. Like, oh, let me see if I do this, how mad you're going to get. Oh, let me see if I do this, it's going to piss you off. Do you have control over your emotions? You know what I mean? All these things matter. And the tests are going to keep coming until you learn a lesson. So, yeah, let's stop acting like life ends at 25, because it doesn't. And at 25, you don't know that much. But there's kids that are 25, I'm saying kids because I'm almost twice their age, that make a lot of money because of social media, YouTube, and whatever. And that's great. But you will also hear about them having meltdowns and breakdowns and being depressed and whatever, because they still have to deal with real life stuff. So if you can make enough money online to buy a house or a car, I think it's beautiful to have that opportunity. I just seen a story about I think the kid's 12 and he made his own vegan cookbook. And I got excited. If I was a bitter person, I would be mad like, man, I wish at 12. But at 12, I wasn't thinking about creating no business or no revenue stream. I'm playing outside in Berlin, Germany with my friends. That's it. But it is a new day and a new time. So don't think at 25 everything ends, or when people turn 29 and they're like, oh, 30, I'm about to be old. Yo, what are you talking about? If you look at life in 4 quarters, from 0 to 25, 25 to 50, 50 to 75, 75 to 100. You just, at 30, you just 5 years into the second quarter. It ain't even halftime yet. And y'all throwing in the towel, you quitting already halfway through the fight? Nah, don't do that to yourself. Anyway, appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Shout out to the Patreons, the Arsenal Alliance with a Z. I appreciate y'all, man. Stay tuned. More positive vibe coming. And if you find a meme or something you want me to speak on in the positive vibes side of the game, send it to me. And we could talk about it. Like, I want to be able to say it. Maybe I see it in a different way than what you guys see. You know what I mean? Maybe it hits me in a way it doesn't hit you, and we can have those conversations. So if you like posting, I don't like to just post memes. I will post them, but there's more. And everything's not going to be, but in the positive vibes, it's like, yo, you are fine right where you are. At the age that you're at, you could start right now. At the age that you're at, you could fall in love right now. At the age you're at, you can find your purpose right now. But don't force it. Just let it flow. Anyways, we out of here. Peace, love, and fire ants. Shout out to palm trees. You know how we do.